Hello everybody. How are you guys doing today? I just wanted to come to you today and talk a little bit about boundaries. And I was just thinking about how there's been some posts on social media, of course, about some break-ins and some people breaking into homes here in Birch Bay. And it's kind of very uncommon. We don't see that here that often or hear about it. And I just was thinking about how scary that is and how invasive that is. And I actually had, when I was living in Seattle, I did have somebody break into my apartment when I was living there. And I won't go into the details, it was quite scary. But it is an invasive thing. And it's easy for us to think about when somebody breaks into your home, steals things, or your possessions and stuff like that. What is it like emotionally when people are taking advantage of you, or when they're um, manipulating a situation or something, and you allow it? And I see that a lot in parents with children, or bosses and employees, or uh, even kitty cats. Here's our kitty cats right here. And how they are, just complete love, really. But when you're talking about boundaries and um, how I guess what I'm getting at is like when you're up to something and doing things, and how people say something and you let it affect you, or when if you're up to doing things, where are your boundaries and self-care to be able to not give them what they want, but to feed them by teaching them to fish. And so when people are pushing and wanting something their way, and sometimes it's not that way that it needs to go, and they need to understand what the effects are going to be and why that is. Are you able to speak with authenticity? And I'm learning to do that. I'm really learning that actually through my network marketing business, that sometimes I think I'm being nice by doing something for somebody, but it actually is the opposite effect. They start to then want you to keep doing that, because then it allows them to go the way they've been going, and they start to rely on you doing that work for them. And then pretty soon they're not learning all the things that they need to learn to allow them to be successful. And so it's kind of like when you're teaching a child, that to crawl, they're not going to be running right away, but you need to show them to start standing up and walking when they're ready, when it's able. You don't push them too much, right? But you also need to teach them to do that, or else they're going to be crawling for the rest of their life. And so the child needs to understand that that's the next stage. Pretty soon they're going to want to ride a bike, right? And so then you teach them balance. And so when you first experience balance on being on a bike, and the bike is being wobbly as you're going down, and then pretty soon you catch balance and you don't even realize it. Once you catch balance, you can't go back. Like you can't unlearn balance. So that is really pretty cool. So when you're thinking about growing yourself, and what your goals are in life, and how you need to focus with yourself, and what your boundaries are to allow you to get there, it's just really incredible. Nobody else is going to help you get there. You have to ride the bike yourself. You're the one pedaling. You're the one that has to catch that balance. And so being able to understand the difference between boundaries and how to have your balance, and what it is for you to actually get on the bike and start moving, those are all extremely important. I sure hope I'm making sense, because it really has been in my mind quite a bit lately with teaching my teams and helping them grow, and where that boundary is that me do the work for them to be nice and helpful, to actually help them ride the bike and get that balance and to move forward, and to know that that's really going to help them be an amazing leader. It actually helps me be a leader too. It actually helps them be more empowered, and I feel more empowered doing that. But if I keep doing the work for them, then I notice that things start to mess up, because I can't figure out what it is that they want really, or they don't understand, and then it just gets all messy and ugly, and that's just not fun either. So anyhow, just wanted to share that with you guys, and wanted to know what maybe some boundaries that you've learned to draw in your life, and what it was like when you learned to ride a bike and catch that balance. So when you've actually figured out what those boundaries are and what that balance is, I would love to know what your thoughts are. So hopefully this was helpful. Take care, you guys. Enjoy your day.